Hey guys, it's Gina. I wanted to make a video to go over some things that I've seen out on the field, and I just want to address them with you. I'll be out on the field this week. I'm out on the field every week, so feel free to contact me if you have any questions, okay? This video is really going to focus on delivering our SDs and running our programs because I noticed that a lot of our BAs are still struggling on delivering our SD to ensure that our client is successful. So, one thing that I did want to address is the prerequisites required before delivering our SD. So, when we run our programs, we have all these programs, they have commands, and so we need our kiddo to respond. But before we can give them commands, there are some skills that they need to possess as well. And so one of those would be to pay attention. So, to make sure that our kiddo is going to give us the correct response, or not even the correct response, maybe the best response would be if we obtain their full attention. And part of it would be making sure that they're looking at you. Okay, and then another part would be making sure that they're seated nicely or they're sitting down nicely, and this can be either at the table or even on the floor. Um, but whatever it is, they really need to be seated down nicely. And then lastly, be able to look at the materials, especially if we are running our receptive drills. And our receptive drills are asking them to point to or touch or give me, select. So it's going to require them to look at some materials and then respond correctly. So before we deliver our SD, there are definitely some skills that our kiddo need to have, they need to possess. So if you realize and you notice that your kiddo is just not looking at you, then maybe this is where you need to start. You need to start with practicing having your kid look at you and then rewarding them for looking at you, and then practicing having them sit nicely and looking at you, and then hopefully having them look at the materials, sit nicely, and look at you even before you can run your program. Otherwise, you will be setting them up for failure and you're not giving them the actual chance to respond the best that they can because of some type of interference. What if they're not looking at you and you are delivering the SD? They might not have heard you. So you would have needed to end the trial and begin again. But would it be fair to mark their response as NR? It wouldn't, because then you're counting it against them when you did not obtain their full attention and get them to look at you before delivering the SD. Now, what if they're not seated nicely and you are delivering the SD? Then most likely they're not paying attention and they're not ready to just hear what you have to say. And so it wouldn't be fair for us to deliver the SD if they're not seated nicely, if they're not looking at us. And most definitely, it would not be fair to deliver the SD if they're not looking at the materials, especially with those drills that I have discussed about, our ROLs that requires them to point to, show me, touch, select. So these are definitely some skills that your kiddo need to possess before delivering the SD. So anytime I come out on the field and if your kid's not looking at you and you present your SD, automatically that's going to be a deduction. That's implementing your program incorrectly. If your kiddo's not sitting down nicely and you're delivering your SD, well, there's a deduction again. You did not allow your kiddo to sit nicely for you before delivering your SD or even look at the materials. So before you become too focused on just delivering the SD and running the program, just step back a little bit and just think about the overall umbrella on what is needed before you can run your drills. And if you don't get to run all your programs, that's okay because you are practicing and allowing your kid to meet the prerequisites required for them to be successful. So this is part of teaching them to be successful before delivering our SD and running our programs with them. So if you have any questions, I will be out on the field. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks. Bye.